뭐야?
Hello, buddy. All right. Are you ready for some BU? Are you ready for some BU? Yeah, noise. That's me. All right, we got our coffee. We got our notes. We have our JoJo pop. I think we are good to go. So here is the purpose of this video. This could be complete garbage, and this could be a complete waste of my time because it might be so pointless that I don't even post it. But if you're watching this, that's clearly not the case. I watched the final video of the BU storyline, Epiphany. And now it's a matter of me going through and trying to kind of wrap a bow on it and give you my take on the whole thing, on what I think the message is and what I think they're trying to say for the most part. So what I think makes the most sense, I have a playlist here of the BU in order. The last two videos, there is a new game official concept art teaser. I have nothing to do with that. That's after Epiphany, out of my box. The last one is the BTS storyline summary and explanation by XLS, which I've heard amazing things about. And I've also heard, so I am looking for your clarification here. I've also heard that anyone that has done a BU summary or guide, I've heard they're also kind of doing what we're doing, which is theorizing. They're trying to put pieces together on what makes sense, but I don't know if anything has officially been laid out from BTS in terms of this is the answer. Does that make sense? So I don't have any intention right now of doing a guide or a summary. And if I do, it just won't be today. You know, if that's something we decide to do, so be it. But for right now, I just want to do a real quick skim of my notes, the videos in order, and then let's see if we can tie a bow on it and make sense of it. Okay, that's kind of where we are. Okay, first up, and I'm literally going to skim through these, so this should not be an exceptionally long video. You're like, yeah, I know you, bro. I need you. Oh, this seems like forever ago. Jen with the flowers. See, and this is one of the questions I had. I did not remember Hobie with Snickers bars like we saw in Euphoria. Or not Euphoria, Fake Love. I remember him with pills. See, I just said I wasn't going to watch the whole thing. And a lot of this stuff is kind of repeated along the way, so you're reminded of what's what. So we see Junie and V together again here. Interesting. I do find it interesting that in this shot, Cookie is on the complete opposite side of Jin. Interesting. Now, also, some of this stuff might not make sense to you if you didn't see my last BU video. If this seems completely random, you're like, what difference does it make those two together? Go back and watch the other one, then it will make sense. is Obi supposed to be a diabetic? Is that why there's pills he's passing out and then he's covered in Snicker bars later? I cannot figure that piece out. I need you, girl. I need you, girl. Girl. Oh. Okay, so that was, and this is another thing I have to remember. The lyrics of the song don't necessarily have to be a contextual point of what I'm trying to put together. I need to remember that. Sometimes I think they might be, sometimes they might not be. Or sometimes I might have to kind of read between the lines. I need you would work with my current theory. I need you, girl, doesn't. So that was I Need You. Next up, we've got On Stage Prologue. Oh, this was a long one. Remember that warning of self-harm and topics such as that. This is where I got the first idea about these mattresses. This is a running theme we see through all the videos. Brings me back. The water is gone. Nirvana.
What?
Damn, yo, that just lined up too. In Euphoria, we saw the picture scene. Cookie and Yoongi tied together. Jimin and Hobie tied together. And then Junie and Jin were tied together. But my theory was that Jin, being the all-powerful fate, destiny, whatever, put Junie in a specific place in order to help V. Because V is the wanderer. V is by himself. And I said, we have to look for something that implies that Junie is being recruited by Jin, fate, destiny, whatever, in order to help V, who is kind of lost. What the hell is this? This is perfect.
What?
I even said it's like he's helping him up. That's what we got to look for. Look for he's helping him up. He's helping him do something. He's got his arm around him. Perfect. Yep. So right now it's like Jin's plan is working. Jin is the one, fate is the one that's kind of recording what's happening. And it's all going according to plan. They look, they see Jin, he jumps down, Jin's happy. Hey, you linked up with V. I sent you to do this because he needs you. He needs all you guys. And Jin hugs V. V says, thank you. You helped me. You saved me. This is pretty on point, right? It makes sense. Okay. I am satisfied. And then again, notice we go right back to V wandering. It's just in his DNA.
우리 여기일까?
그냥 내게 웃어줘. Yeah.
And then here we saw V at the top of the tower. He jumps off. The transition is when he goes in the water, he's V from another video later, I think. And then later we see Jin switch places with him. Yeah, okay. Okay, it's all coming back to me. Next up, we've got Run. So Junie and the Connex boxes. We see this later in Fake Love. Even if I'm dying out, I try harder to reach you. Junie and V again. This was the first time I remember thinking that this was exceptionally deep, I think, because this was the House of Cards that Jin was putting together. Jin being fate or destiny, he is the one kind of controlling everything. He's putting the House of Cards together. Also a BTS song. But V is the one as the Wanderer who topples this thing. What's interesting about that, though, is that we know later Cookie is the one who manages to like become the top dog, if you will. So then what's left for us to figure out is what is the line of sense, if you will, from V as the Wanderer, the lost one, to Cookie, who then topples fate, overcomes fate. Mm-hmm. If Cookie is somehow represented in these videos as the one who, like, what's the catalyst? You know what I mean? How does Cookie ultimately save the day for V? Because V seems to be the one that needs the most help. First, Junie is kind of recruited to help him, but somehow Cookie ends up toppling Jin. Sorry, this might seem repetitive to you, but I'm literally trying to put the thoughts together as I'm getting them. And, well, we call that talking. And I guess I'm not good at that. Jimin and Hobie, were they tied together? They were. Butterfly. Ace of clubs, butterfly. See, if we're assuming that Jin is fate, then this scene could mean that there are times when we are not on track. We go kind of crazy. We become chaos. But eventually we end up back in control again, right? Look how we started here. They're all together in the van. Or the truck. they kind of lose their damn minds. But ultimately, you try running from fate. At this point, at this point in the story, we make you believe it's going to catch up to you and you're going to end up back on that track again. But we know later this might not be the case because of how it ends, right? Now I understand this shot. Jin is driving the truck. Cookie turns and looks back. And now this is what I think is the first time that we see significantly the headbutting, if you will, of Cookie and Jin. Maybe it's Cookie understanding for the first time I have more control than I think I knew. So here's V again. How has this development changed things? That's it. That's all I get. Okay. Next up, that was Run. We've got I Need You, the Japanese version, which I think is heavy on the choreo.
Everything. I'm not a dog. Everything. Call what a dog.
That little shot right there, I remember commenting the first time I saw this because the shot with V was reversed. Now we're seeing these patterns of reversed shots where it implies that time can be undone, or we can go back in time, or not everything is set in stone. Okay. This was one thing that I did wonder about. I think this is Junie's hand. And I wondered if that black coat, that darkness, represented death in some way. Because we do get symbols of, I think, water represents life. Fire represents rebirth. Why wouldn't we have something that represents actual death? There has to be ultimate consequence with option. Yeah, Junie. And you notice we saw blank mirrors on Cookie's shirt. So this gesture from Junie makes sense. Just tying it all together. Was that Cookie setting fire? Yep. was I Need You, the Japanese version. Next up, we've got Run, the Japanese version. I do need to do a better job of skimming. We're kind of just watching the videos again. I didn't want to do that. But we are picking stuff up, for sure. There were so many things hidden in these quick shots. So brilliantly done. So brilliantly done. And I remember in this scene specifically, or this video, we see a lot of graffiti in the background later. I think this is the one. Yeah, there it is. Because I remember going through this scene specifically. Teen Spirit, Save Me. There's Dope. I mean, there's so much back here that is hidden, but makes sense to the storyline. Okay. What do we have? Young Forever. Ah, immediately I can tell you this was significant. We have the fence, which is restricting. We have the maze, the guys trying to get through the maze to get to each other. And then it's on, the maze is on a runway. And when they leave, it was upside down. So because the runway, because of the upside down, it implies they're on a different plane of existence, dimensions, timelines. Very significant. Oh, such a good song. There's the different plane that we see, because V is upside down in relation to the rest of them. Although I do think that when they're in the maze, this might be I was going to say, I thought it was the first time that they have the white clothing on that we see at the end where V climbs up, not V. Jin is at the top of the tower and then like sacrifices himself, or V runs off and jumps and there's the camera. Never mind. Doesn't matter anyway, I was wrong. Ooh. I will always hear the crowd. Yo! Forever we are young. flying petals swirling like the rain. We just talked about the sand that was on the ground and that Jin was trying to protect the flower, the hourglass, and Cookie came up later, picked up the sand, and it turned to flower petals. And we talked about how that can be representative of we grab time, we interact with time, we turn it into something beautiful. Flying petals swirling like the rain. Let me pause you for 1 sec here. Okay, I think we're good. Sorry, I just had to take a quick phone call. All right, where were we? Oh, that's right. Flying petals swirling like the rain. And then wandering through the maze of life, which I probably commented on in my original video for this. But V being the wanderer and then through the maze of life totally makes sense in how they told that story. So good. Young forever. Okay, what's next? Next we have Wings, a short film. This is where it really got interesting for me because I love to break this stuff down. The cinematic flavor of them, the storytelling, it's so good, so well done. Okay, so we got Cookie. Damn, that's loud. Sorry about that. That just scared the hell out of me. Begin. Are we starting to see pieces here of Cookie's soon-to-be power? This feels like it's supposed to be V as well. Have I ever said that? I never... Okay, thanks, Cookie. Boy, nobody plays Shook like Jungkook. Yeah, that seems about right. Interesting. And we started to get little tidbits and hints, I thought, in this logo as we progressed. Next up is Lie. There's the picture that was given for the exchange at the magic shop later. Camera. This is why I said it felt like an institution. The camera, the Rorschach test. Mm-hmm. Shadow didn't move. Okay, institution, clinical. 2 beds. Pills, which we see tied to Hobie later, but also Snicker bars. Man, this is wild. It's all a facade. Nothing is real. Whew, that'll wake you up. A little smirk, a little chim smirk. Mm-hmm. Okay. Bite of the apple. Is it a poison apple? Did we ever discuss that? That's also a possibility. Could also be health instead of the opposite, poison apple. Could be health, because if Jimin is tied to Hobie according to our current theory, Hobie needs some fruit in his life because he's literally sitting in a fetal position on top of 1,000,000 Snicker bars.
And branches grow together again, heal and are forgotten. But in the most secret recesses, they continue to live and bleed.
Stigma. Now, this is where V comes in prominently. So let's see what we got here. Oh, wait. Oh, I was going to say, I thought this scene was the same one where we saw him with Junie get caught, but now he's by himself. Okay. Who's this? Okay, police station. Is this Cookie? Oh, it's V. I forgot how sexy that song was.
그때 나한테 왜 그랬어? I'm sorry, my sister. 숨겨도 감춰도 지워지지 않아.
Hello, puppy.
So cry, please dry my eyes. 저 빛이 내 죄를 비춰줘.
That was trauma right there. Getting that haircut. Oh.
전화 한 통만 하게 해주세요. 전화 한 통만 하게 해주세요.
That's probably not what he said. Terrible subtitles. Gentleman at Zero. No way. Okay, what do we got? Short film number 4, First Love.
And lead.
Yoongi. First Love, the piano. Okay. The fire later. It's just a piece of Sugar storyline. Reflection.
Our house of chaos. Horses sink
Chaos. So now a tie-in from Cookie to Junie. Okay, yep. See, I actually learned this morning in a completely unrelated context where some people will take a small piece of paper, they'll write their wishes or dreams on it, set it on fire, and then drop it into a drink and drink it. Literally, this morning I learned about this. And I don't think I realized that's what was happening here. I'm not saying he's writing his dreams on it, but he does write something down. He sets it on fire. Oh, it's the picture of the bird, right? Then he drinks it. He puts it in the drink. He drinks it. He passes out, and that's when we see the color coming in. Interesting.
I was so good with myself.
Fire. Wow. I think Junie's storyline seems the most quiet to me, and I wonder why I feel that way. Next we have Mama. Hobie. Let's see where these Snicker bars come into play. Okay, pills. Psychedelic. That was a really good shot to show you that here's what's happening on the inside, but this is what reality is. Right here. Reality on the outside, but this is what he feels like right now. See what I'm saying? Smart. Okay. More tie-ins. He's out. Ah, that's the shot from Jimin's. There's the Snickers. Oh boy. Out of the pocket fall pills, but he eats a Snickers. Okay, and he leaves as opposed... Oh. This... So the song's called Mama. This makes sense. This is also something that we saw on the card or on like a token or something in Jimin's. It's so well done. I'm kind of glad we're doing this. This might be redundant for you because you probably watched all these videos in order, and it's been a while for me. But this is just a reminder for me how well this is put together. Next up, we've got Awake. Okay, Apple from Jimin. Jin's got it. The pictures, the photos, the flowers, fire. He has power. The pills at the other side of the table. And this is the room I think most of it happens in. I think. That's the first time I remember seeing the white clothing that we see later in, I think, Euphoria. The Yoongi? That's Jin. So these are all tie-ins to the other storylines. The piano is there from Yoongi. We've got the fire. We've got the hospital bed. We've got the flowers. There's the swan from Cookie in that first one. I remember this pattern on the wallpaper is the same as the picture that V was spray painting, and it's some kind of deity or Greek god that represents, what was it, Arceus? Is that right? That can't be right. There's no way I remember that. Arceus, Greek. No way. Is that right? Let's see if I can find a picture. Arceus. I'm going to read this in case this is it, but then I'm going to find out what the actual one is. In alchemy, Arceus is a term used generally to refer to the lowest and most dense aspect of the astral plane, which presides over the growth and continuation of all living beings. That's got to be it. The term is also used for the nature of fire, life. Huh. It was something. Yeah. Okay, let's keep going. Getting distracted already. 6 photos. We've got the lock on this. What do we got? Mama, the apple from Jimin, Yoongi, Cookie. The mirror, I think, is Junie. Scratching the door would be... What do we have? Is that V? Ooh, it's hard to say now because they've had so many tie-ins. This is so good. Blood, Sweat, Tears. Good. I remember the dinner here. So there is kind of also a mama statue. We've got the water again. Here's Hobie with the mama statue. Okay. Again, prominently we see V affecting things, Cookie at the forefront.
He too was a tempter. He too was a link to the second.
Hmm.
The evil world with which I no longer wanted to have anything to do.
Who's this? V? Everybody, basically. V turns around. There's Jin. Okay. Is this V? Or is it Cookie? Do we ever learn? I think it's V. Yep. Boom.
내 피땀 눈물
See, and I just know that there's going to be, I'm going to look that up real quick because I know there's going to be a lot of the stuff that I'm not getting because I did not read Demian or any of the other books that are kind of tying in concepts. Which I will say, though, even if that's the case, if I'm not getting those for that reason, if I get even some of this and it makes sense, that's probably what I should say. Not that I get it right with the theory, but if what I have proposed to you makes sense, I would be proud of that. Because since the beginning, I've really been kind of going in blind. What do we have? Okay, the quote at the top of the mirror. Oh, I only typed in half of it. Says, it's a Nietzsche quote. It says, "You must have chaos within you to give birth to a dancing star." You know what's interesting about that is just earlier today, I heard a speaker say, you have to, in order for you to shine, you have to go through the mode of being nothing. I think that's pretty interesting. It's like we just think we're supposed to be great and be successful all the time. The whole journey is just greatness. But you kind of have to go through that mode of not great in order to be great. So this kind of goes with that. I think it's interesting. All right, it looks like we're almost done here. This, what is this? I don't. Oh. See, some of these shots I remember, some of them, like this, I'm wondering if I ever watched this video. I mean, it's been a while, but obviously we're seeing some recaps, but this doesn't feel like I watched it. Lone Wolf. Lone Wolf totally goes with my theory. Okay, I do remember that. Oh, yeah. This is so crazy. Okay, I feel like some of this, even if I haven't seen this, because Japanese version, I wonder if it's just, there's confirmation of pieces that I've seen before. There's recaps, but it does line up so far. Okay, Love Yourself highlight reel. Yunki. You're welcome. See, I wonder, this up here says class, like there's a gym up here. No sweat, no beauty. This is probably already there, but let's think about this. What did we just talk about? You kind of have to go through not being great in order to become great. This is a gym up here, but this no sweat, no beauty makes perfect sense.
잤던 매미 소리가 한순간
Same flowers we saw in Epiphany on the table.
행복한 순간에 불현듯 두려워지는 것은
There's a question for you.
왜일까?
Why is it that the happiest of moments usher in sudden fear? Do you know why that is? Generally speaking, we're waiting for the ball to drop. Many of us don't believe that we deserve to be happy. When these moments of happiness come, we think, ugh, now what? You know what I mean?
가장 회피하고
So good.
그래서
All going back. Will happiness be ours to stay?
행복해질 수 있을까?
Nice. Is that Cookie? Tell me that's Cookie. Oh, that would have been crazy.
결국 마주해야 하는 것은 어제와는 다른 폭풍. 그 가운데를 뚫고 나아가는 것. 두려움 없이 사랑하는 것. 망설.
Okay, I feel like some pieces are coming together for me here. Okay, it has not been long since I watched this, so I'm just kind of breezing through it here. I did a pretty in-depth, whatever that means. Because I do think, though, that there's the storyline as it's happening, but I feel like there's also a very strong or powerful message that is being presented on top of the storyline. The storyline is just a story being told to get you to pay attention to something clear. Okay. Got it? We did the fake love teasers, both of them. There was the extended version of this. Okay. Brick in the wall. Snicker bars. Sand going through the door, the water. Reaching for each other through these timelines. And then we have epiphany. Okay. Okay, so I now have spent a full hour going through these videos again to remind myself of the story as it takes place. And I can now see that the color shift that happened in the beginning of Epiphany, it transitioned to this, and then it went back to this. Okay. Overall, if I had to sum up all of this in a very concise fashion, first of all, that's going to be near impossible for me. I don't do well with concise, but I will say this. The BU as a whole is an incredible story. The way that it's told with all of the Easter eggs and tie-ins philosophically from a literature standpoint, a visual standpoint, with here's what I can say. All the tools that are used to tell this story, of the 7 of them, I do think that each part of the story has a very important role in getting us to the overall message. In my opinion, my theory is that Jin is fate that we think is locked in place. This is my fate. This is my destiny. It's always meant to be. V is a symbol of one who feels lost, a wanderer. And it's fate's job to kind of sheepdog that wanderer to a good place. Or I won't even say in a good place, in a general direction. And that's fate's job. It's going to build that house of cards, and that's just the way it's going to be. That's fate's job. It's the wanderer's job, I think, maybe, to exist, to experience life, but fate's going to sheepdog that wanderer where it wants it to go. That is accomplished by the other tools that fate will use to push us in that direction. For example, when Jin recruits Junie to take V under his wing, proverbially speaking, and then all the guys come in, they're being used to kind of sheepdog him along the way. Whether that's good or bad, I can't really say, but it might just kind of be it just is. It's not good or bad, it's neutral, it just is. That could be Jin's role as fate. But I do think there are significant patterns along the entire arc that show, regardless of if it's a timeline, if it's a space and time continuum, if it's dimensions, if it's alternate universes, the multiverse, parallel worlds, however you want to put it, there always seems to be this running thread of the need for each other. There's a support there that happens with the guys. Sometimes it's in pairs, where in Euphoria, we saw the specific tie-ins of Cookie and Yoongi, Jimin and Hobie. Jin goes to Junie to recruit him to get with V, and then it's Junie and V. We see this pattern happen. Sometimes it's two of them, but if they're alone, they're always trying to get to the others in some way. I can't necessarily say it's one trying to always get back to their other one, their pair, if you will, but there's always a reach, there's always effort to get back to the others. They may not know that from a character standpoint, but I feel like it's in our DNA. It's in their DNA to make that happen. It's like a drawing force, and it's like a pull. All of the little Easter eggs and stuff of wasted youth and the Greek texts, the Hermann Hesse quotes, the literature, there is so much that is used to highlight the overall theme, which is that we have to, boy, if this isn't appropriate, we have to look out for each other because there is a long journey ahead of us. I don't think that journey is necessarily set in stone, which is what fate would have us believe. Cookie ends up being the driving force that makes fate crumble. V is the wanderer, but there's another force that ends up saving him. My one issue, though, is, and I struggle with it because it feels like a cop-out for me. If I sit here and say, well, this is this magnificent storyline that's told across a dozen plus videos of the guys and they're linking across timelines and all this stuff. Like it's crazy how they do it, how they tell these stories, and they show them from the periods of rebirth to different forms of life. We see the butterfly, the hourglass sand in time. You know, there's this massive cause and effect that takes place from one guy to the next, to the next, to the next. They're all intertwined, and they all seem to affect the other in some way. But I don't necessarily know how Cookie ends up being the one, and I don't know if that matters. But he ends up being the one that, I'll say becomes the hero, okay? I could say that maybe sometimes if we are the wanderer, we become the one who changes our own fate and we make things happen on our own. I don't know. Sometimes it's somebody else that saves us. We did see Save Me on some of the walls and some of the videos. Would make sense. Was the liar painted on the phone booth that Junie saw, was that directed to fate? Are we calling fate a liar? Are we affecting each other so greatly that we can change that trajectory of the journey? Where I struggle with this interpretation is, the final video is Epiphany. The title makes sense. You are having an epiphany after this massive journey. The epiphany is kind of laid out for us in this final quote, which I am again going to pull up and read because, okay, at the end of my journey to find myself, I've reached the same place again. In the end, what I need to find is the map of the soul, the start and sign for everything, something that everyone may have, but not anyone can find. I'm going to try to look for that from now on. So it's not about finding myself, because that will be an endless loop, which we see that loop happen in epiphany. But the epiphany being, in the end, what I need to find is the map of the soul. That is everything. Jin's lyrics saying, "I'm the one I should love." If we take this quote and these lyrics, is it really as simple as, yeah, we can have this massively complex storyline in these videos. We can have this massively complex storyline in our own lives. You think about how many times you sit there and you become overwhelmed because you're trying to figure out who you are or what your purpose is, what your role is. And then you think you get somewhere, you make progress, but then you go back 5 steps because something in your very complex past or present sheepdogs you in another direction. So we get confused, we get overwhelmed. It becomes incredibly convoluted because we're trying to apply all of these different pieces of our story into this jigsaw puzzle of right now, which is we're trying to figure out who we are. And according to this quote and according to this song, the epiphany should be that, as simple as it is, I'm the one I should love. That's it. I should love who I am, regardless of the complexities, regardless of the mistakes. We saw some complexities and mistakes across the storyline. We saw V stab a guy. We saw pills. We saw fights. We saw all kinds of stuff. We saw pure chaos. I feel like I'm missing a whole bunch of pieces when I say there's a chance this could be laid out to forget the complexities, forget what you think life is trying to sheepdog you into. Do your best to love yourself and make the best of the situations that you have. Are we doing ourselves a disservice when we think that life is supposed to be sunshine all the time? We think that's what's supposed to happen. If we came into this world and we were told, hey, you're going to go through this door. This is life. From the moment you step foot out there until you come back in 105 years from now, it's going to be a storm. It's going to rain. There's thunder. There's lightning. There's going to be random fires. It's going to be chaos. Make the best of it. You walk through those doors and that storm exists. But then all of a sudden one day, the storm dissipates and you get a few days where it's pretty damn sunny. Oh, well, this isn't so bad. And then the storm comes back. Well, the storm was what you expected to begin with. When that storm breaks and it's sunshine, you think, oh, this is nice. It's not as bad as I thought it was going to be. I feel like we make more sense out of that than if it were the alternative, where we expect everything to be sunny and perfect and lovely. And then when the storm comes, we think, oh, this is great. Now, I am just as guilty, if not more guilty, than any of you that are listening to this. So I know how crazy this is when I say this stuff. But I do think that there's something very fundamentally simple here that is just very hard for us to grasp. And then once we grasp it, how do we apply it? If we can apply it, how do we apply it consistently? Love yourself. This is the epiphany that you should have on a daily basis. I'm Roscoe. I'm your BTS buddy. Look out for each other because we have a long journey ahead of us. Boop.